You know, if the crowd is at a certain groove, you know, and that song is the song that they want to hear, but everybody's at a hype groove, it don't make no sense for us to slow it down and play it slow. We keep it at a hype groove. We just change the groove. That make Phil have to change the rhythm that he's playing. Or if Phil changed the rhythm that he's playing, that makes us have to change. Because every time Shorty changes the rhythm that he's playing, I have to change. So it's like communicating without talking. So it just naturally, I guess it just naturally.
Music is a universal language. No matter what color you are, where you're from, if you're in tune to what's going on with the music, you can communicate. It's a very high form of communication. Because, I mean, if the audience is real hype, like he said, there's a lot of energy in the place, we just start changing up right there and create something new. And then when the night is over, it's like, hey, I want you guys to play that the way you played it that night. It was like, that's impossible. We just created that on the spot. So we can play it again, but it won't be that way. It'll be something completely different. Myself and my brother Philip Frazier has been in the band for 26 years. So that's very important because we're the bottom, the foundation of the band. And so what I mean by the communication is I never have to look at him while I'm playing because I'm always turned this way. I can just feel and hear him and play off what he's playing. And that's really important. A lot of bands, once you start changing that rhythm section, you lose a lot. So that's really important. What has changed is we have a lot of different guys up front. We don't care. I always tell them, I don't care who you put in the front. If we keep this the same, it's going to be Rebirth.
I've been in the band 13 years, going on 14. So 13 years of playing together, you know.
Right.
We never talk to each other, but in the calls.
That's it. That's it. Also, one of the things I always point out to people whenever we change snare drums, when Derrick first got in the band, it's the story I always tell. He always tells the story like, man, I was standing next to this guy. I'm 6'something, he's 5'something. He's trying to talk over my head. He was like, man, you were telling Philip, man, something don't sound right. And I'm looking at it, I wasn't talking to him. I was like, no, this ain't gonna work. So we called him up one day. He said, what's going on? I said, we need to have a rehearsal. Something we never do. He said, rehearsal? Yeah, I said, just us three. So we could, because I knew once we got locked up together, like I said, no matter what was going on in the front, this is what pushed the band. And whenever we do sound checks, people say, what do you want to sound check the most? We always want to sound check the bass drum the most because a lot of sound guys don't get a chance to put a mic on a bass drum on the outside of the bass drum. Most mics go on the inside of the bass drum. So it's kind of hard to capture that sound that we want. So I tell them, I say, look, this is what we want. We want you to put the bass drum in all the monitors all around. Because if they can feel the bass, which is very Afrocentric, because it makes you move, it makes you dance, they're going to know where they're supposed to be going at. So we tell them, turn the bass up and make sure everybody can hear it, and turn the saxophone up. Because the sax is like the voice instead of the trumpet. So the guy said, what you mean? I said, what we're trying to do is we're trying to get the rhythm section to push everything. We don't want the front pushing the back. We want the back pushing the front. Like when you get in the car, you want your bass in the back and your tweeters in the front. You want your bass pushing the front. You don't want it the opposite way around. So it's like a car. When you hear it, it's like a car coming at you. Like, damn, yeah, I feel it. I also hear it, but I also feel it.